Hello, good morning, my dear boys and girls. Welcome to today online class session. Today we are going to have a discussion on soft skills. Already we have started successfully soft skills chapters in our earlier classes, where we had a discussion on motivation and goal setting, and then next self-confidence. And now in our today's session we are going to have a discussion on non-verbal communication and body language. Non-verbal communication and body language. The other name of non-verbal communication is kinesics. 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 So you may wonder sometimes that without knowing, without unconsciously what happens, our body, our expressions, will communicate a lot more than our words. So how come they are associated with our personality? How come they are related or associated with our ability? We are going to discuss in our today's session. So look at the first slide, soft skills. Why do they matter in your professional life? Fine, right now you people are students, so that is why you may wonder, since soft skills they are related to professional life or something else, but it is not like that. So in student life also, these soft skills will enable your capabilities in order to overcome your problems, right? So they are not only related to the professional life, but also they are associated with our personal life as well as with our educational life also, student life also. So that is why it is very important that the soft skills are not only related to professional life. So this point has to be noted. Now let us come to the second slide. Okay, second slide, verbal and non-verbal. So here in verbal communication you can see two persons are speaking together. One person is speaking, the left person is speaking, and the right person to me is listening to him. So this is called verbal communication, where we use language, whether it is any language, irrespective of any language, and the process goes on like that. It is a kind of a two-way communication system. One can speak and the another can listen, and then afterwards he responds to your question. Right now look at the another photograph or diagram which I have given you in this slide. Two hands are getting shake hand over there, where two hands with each other very tighten, right? So this comes under non-verbal communication. So right now today, first of all, let us have a discussion on what exactly the non-verbal communication meant by. Okay, non-verbal communication is a means by which you are able to communicate without speaking. So that means without speaking you are communicating with others. So this is possible by using visual clues such as facial expressions, okay, eye contact, posture, gestures, or by touch, or even by the use of silence. So that is why our elders used to tell us, used to teach us in bygone era that silence also speaks something at sometimes at some what you call context. So this is possible by using visual clues like facial expressions. So your face is something, it is an index of your character sometime. So your facial expressions sometimes expresses what exactly you want to do or what exactly you do not want to do. And sometimes your eye contact also expresses that are you wishing to do something or you are not wishing to do something. And then next, the posture. Posture means the way you sit and the way stand, the way you walk. These are all comes under posture, which expresses your confidence levels. Posture means while sitting on the chair, while speaking to someone, while walking, and while standing, your posture always expresses or denotes that your confidence levels. And sometimes gestures also takes a major role in non-verbal communication. And for some extent touch also gives a lot of confidence in everyone. For example, think that you have done a good job. Some assignment has been given to you by your teacher. None of your friends has done that assignment effectively. You are only the person that did very well, and your teacher appreciates you by coming to you and patting your shoulders. This comes under once again touch. If your teacher pats on your shoulder, you will feel very proud in front of your friends or your students. So sometimes touch also takes major role in non-verbal communication. And finally, silence also takes a major role in some aspects, in some contexts. Okay, then thus the way we walk, the way we talk, the way we sit, the way we stand, all say something about us. This is what I have told you. Okay, this is what I have told you, that the way you stand, the way you walk, the way you sit, always these are all the things which denotes your character, your personality without fail, my dear. So that is why it is very important. You have to be very careful, you have to be very conscious about all these things, while sitting, while standing, while walking, while speaking to others. So this kind of a communication has a great impact on people. Some of the common expressions and gestures used are listed below. Right, now this kind of a communication, that means this kind of a non-verbal communication, it has a great impact on people. Now just look at the third slide which I have given to you people. There are some common expressions, some common gestures I have sorted out for your knowledge. Just have a look on that. What is that? The first one, nodding of head. Nodding of head. So if you are nodding your head, that means you are agreeing. So body language in the first column, right, in the box. The box has been divided into two sections. In first section, you can find the body language, and in second box or second column, you can find what it means by. Right. The first one means nodding of head. The meaning of nodding your head is nothing but it is a symbol or it is a gesture of agreement. And the second one, shaking hand, shaking of head, sorry, not hand, shaking of head. So when you are shaking your head, it is a symbol or it is a gesture of disagreement. Okay, nodding of a head is an agreement symbol. Shaking of a head, disagreement symbol. And now look at the third gesture or expression, wrinkling the forehead. Wrinkling the forehead. Forehead means this part. Okay, when you are expressing like this, wrinkling, right? It is a kind of, it's a symbol of surprise and anxiety. Okay, wrinkling the forehead means surprising and anxiety. So the fourth one, raising eyebrows. Raising eyebrows. When you are raising your eyebrows, it means you want to know something about, that means it's a kind of inquiry, and sometimes it may be surprise and sometimes it may be doubt. So see how many meanings are there in one expression, facial expression, that raising your eyebrows means it may ask for an inquiry, it may be surprise, and it may be a doubt, right? And now let us come to the fifth one, starting with an open mouth. Starting with an open mouth. This is a symbol of what you call surprise. And twisting one's lips. Twisting one's lip. When you are twisting your lips like this, what happens? It is nothing but, it is a symbol of, it is a meaning of dislike as well as hatred, that you do not like. So this is, twisting of someone's lips means dislike and hatred. Then stooping shoulders. Stooping shoulders. When you are bending, when you are sitting or when you are standing, if you are stooping your shoulders, when you are not keeping them, in a well balanced manner, when you are stooping, it means it is lack of confidence and lack of spirit. So the opposite person will come to know that you do not have confidence within you, and you do not have any kind of spirit within you. So stooping shoulders should be avoided. And shrugging of shoulders. Stooping of shoulders means putting your shoulders like this. And when you are shrugging means just saying like this, right? When you are shrugging of your shoulders, it means indifference. You are objecting it. Okay, indifference. And clenching fists. Clenching fists. Fist means like this. When you are doing like that, it is a symbol of anger, it is a symbol of aggression. And tapping fingers. When you are tapping your fingers like this, okay, when you are tapping your fingers like this while speaking to others, it is a symbol of impatience. Okay, it is a symbol of impatience. Index and middle finger raised. Index finger and middle finger. Okay, index finger and middle finger raised. It is a symbol of victory. This is this one. Index finger and middle finger. If these two fingers, if you are raising, it is a symbol of victory. And thumbs up. Thumbs up means this finger, if you raise it, it means wish you good luck. Okay, so see, without knowing all these things, we have been expressing these kind of expressions without knowing their meaning. So this is what you call the excellency of this non-verbal communication. See, look at the fourth what you call slide which I have given to you, look at the people how they are, standing. The first figure, man, who wore a suit, okay, fine, who is standing very confidently. And the second lady who is standing, just bending her right leg, which shows something negative. And the another lady who is standing, who raised her right leg, right, that shows, some negativity. And look at the other people, who are standing over there, and try to, find out on what mood these people are doing or talking about. And now come to the gestures. This is what gestures, nodding of head, we have come across already. And then next, tone and distance between people. This is very, very important, my dear students. You should know how much distance should be maintained when you are speaking to others. So most of us do not know this important point, and we never mind, about this thing, but this is very important, at any cost, under any circumstances, you have to maintain all these things. Right. Now, tone and distance between people, here I have given in page number, slide number 6, right? Just have a look. Distance between two faces, you can find, a column over there, the box over there, which has been divided into 3 columns. In the first column, you will come across the distance between two faces. In the first column, distance between two faces, and in the second column, you can find speech, and in the third column, you can find kind of message. Right. So this is the distance. What is the distance, between two faces should be? Now, the first one is very close. If you are talking to someone who is very close to you, your distance should be 7 to 14 centimeters. 7 to 14 centimeters. And speech should be soft whisper. It should be like whisper. Right? Secret talk, like. And kind of message, secret or intimate. What kind of a message it is giving? It is giving secret or intimate meeting. Now look at the second one. Close. Very close, 7 to 14 centimeters. Close, 15 to 46 centimeters distance you have to maintain. And then speech should be audible whisper. Audible whisper. And kind of message, confidential. Kind of message should be confidential. Right, then next, let us come to the third one, neutral. Neutral. 1.2 to 3.6 meters. 1.2 to 3.6 meters. And speech should be low volume, right? And kind of message should be personal discussion. Kind of message is personal discussion. And the fourth one, neutral, 1.2 to 3.6 meters. 1.2 to 3.6 meters. Speech should be full voice. Kind of message should be is non-personal exchange. Non-personal exchange. Distant. Last one, over 3.6 meters, and the speech, loud voice, kind of message is talking to a group. When you are talking to a group, you have to maintain distance over 3.6 meters and your voice should be loud. Now let us come to the here once again. I have given some postures of various people. You just have a look, okay, so that you can come to know how the postures are being used on different occasions. Now look at the wait a minute. Okay, now let us come to emotions displayed by body language are considered vital for non-verbal communication. So emotions, whatever the emotions that we are displaying by our body language, they are considered vital, that means very important for non-verbal communication. So in non-verbal communication, your body language, your emotions takes major role or pivotal role, you can say. Second one, aggression is considered as a positive strength in some cases of leadership. So sometimes you have to be aggressive, because on some context, in some cases, this aggression is also considered as a positive strength. Certain aggressive behavior is considered unacceptable, while some gestures are essential for leadership. In certain cases, in some cases, aggressive behavior will not be considered as a unacceptable, while some gestures are essential for leadership. Now let us come to the third one. Submissive body gestures are considered agreement to situations and good followers. So submissive means compromising. Submissive body gestures are considered agreement to situations and good followers. It is also considered as a sign of good listener. So submissive body gesture will be considered as agreement, and as well as it will be considered as a sign of good listener. And the fourth point is nervousness is considered as a symbol of failure. So when you are feeling nervous, okay, it is nothing but it is a symbol of what you call failure. And certain gestures signify being upset, depicting loss of concentration. Other body gestures like being bored, relaxed, etc. depend on circumstances. So certain gestures signify being upset. So some gestures are there, being upset of your concentration. These kind of body gestures like being bored, relaxed, etc. Depend on circumstances. There are also postures to depict defensive and power. Certain gestures distinguish personal, social, and public zone. Body gestures vary according to circumstance, such as personal and professional interactions. See, look at this one. Look at this one. This is why I have given this slide to you. So certain gestures distinguish personal, social, and public zone. Body gestures vary. So here you can find different kind of body gestures, being given to you people for your knowledge according to the circumstance, such as personal and professional. So now you can have a look, how many professionals are there, how they are standing and their body postures, gestures, what they are, depicting to us, which you have to find out. And now nervousness, lacking eye contact, distraction, position of arms and elbows, body postures allowing interruptions are considered undesirable characteristics. So nervousness, lacking of eye contact, Already we have discussed it. Eye contact is very important. And distraction. So if I am speaking to you directly, if you look at somewhere, it doesn't look good. It gives a negative, attitude to your character. Position of arms. So the arms, where you put, where you keep, where it should be keep, they should be keep, is also very important. And your eyebrows, and your body postures. Okay, and these kind of interruptions are considered as undesirable characteristics. And at job interviews, now look at this one. At job interviews, non-verbal communication is considered vital, as it is one of the criteria to evaluate a candidate profile or suitability for a position. Look at the point. This is very, very important, since as soon as you pass out your graduation, most of you may go for to take up your interviews. Look at here, non-verbal communication is considered vital, as it is one of the criteria to evaluate a candidate's profile or suitability for a position. That means your non-verbal communication also determines your job position. It denotes that whether you are eligible to that post or not. Without knowingly, it denotes to the employer. So be careful. It reveals the character of a candidate. So that means as soon as he observe of your non-verbal communication, he will come to know what kind of a character that you are. Now look at the box I have given to you in slide number 8, confidence level. Look at, in the center point we can find body language, from where your body language, how many components your body language denoting. Your body language denoting your motivation, your body language is denoting your confidence level, and your body language is denoting attitude, right? And look at some of the common gestures known are. Okay, some common gestures are there. Okay, I have given you one more slide to you people in order to observe. Look at the people while taking their interview, the way they are sitting over there, right? The first one, who stooped, okay, his shoulders, look at his shoulders, and look at his right hand, right? And look at this girl who is sitting, seems to be very confident, right? And look at the third lady who cross-legged, okay, and looking somewhere, distraction, okay. And look at the fourth one, he stooped, and as well as the way he sits itself denotes that he is not confident at all. The entire body language which we can see on this last part one fellow, denoting that his confidence levels as well as what kind of a character he is. And look at this last guy who sat in a relaxed manner, right? But he's looking so confident, right? So this is for your idea, okay? And where we have discussed already, your body language denotes your motivation, it denotes your confidence level, and it denotes your attitude, okay? And look at some of common gestures known are. Greetings using a handshake or a traditional way such as namaskaram. So now all of you are very much familiar with this namaskaram, because nowadays it has become very famous during this corona pandemic. situation. Greeting using a handshake or a traditional way such as namaskara. Now handshake is banned right now. You can't do that. And look at the second one. Eye contact conveys emotions such as trust, fear. So your eye contact denotes uh, trust, fear, happiness, anxiety, disappointment. Not making an eye contact, not making an eye contact is considered unworthy of time, insult, or feeling uncomfortable. So eye contact must be maintained. Look at the third one. Nodding and smiling are considered positive signs of for listening. So nodding your head and smiling, these are the two gestures that will be considered as a positive sign. And look at the fourth one. Hand movements or arm movements while speaking are considered aids to express opinions. So generally these hand movements or arm movements you can find in your classroom while your lecturer gives you a lecture. All right, and look at the sixth one. Standing straight conveys authority. So when you are standing straight, it denotes that you are an authoritarian person. Energy and strength. Once again, in a nutshell, we can say positive. And sitting straight is a formal posture at a formal meetings. So you have to sit straight because it is a formal posture at formal meetings. Bending forward is a sign of interest and enthusiasm to listen to speaker. So sometimes bending is also considered one of the good signs that you are showing interest to listen someone to whom you are listening. Slouching or sitting in bend position is considered lack of energy. This is what I have told you before. Slouching or sitting in a bending position will be considered lack of energy and lack of enthusiasm and lack of interest. Leaning back is considered a relaxed and informal situation. Leaning back. So you should not lean back onto the chair. It may look in an informal situation, but it may not look good in a formal situation. Right? It is necessary to maintain appropriate distance while speaking to someone. This is what we had a discussion when we have completed facial expressions and gestures of body language and their meanings. How much distance that we people are supposed to maintain between two faces. Very close 7.14 centimeters, close 15 to 46 centimeters, neutral 1.2 to 3.6 millimeters, and neutral 1.2 to 3.6 millimeters, and distance over 3.6 meters where we have come across with loud voice and talking to the group. And now it is necessary to maintain appropriate distance while speaking to someone. Right? And formal clothes project professionalism. So this is also very important while going to attend an interviews. You have to be very formal. You have to be very choosy in colors, because your way of attire, that means your attire will denotes your personality. In previous class also I have told you that dazzling colors are prohibited while going to interviews. So take care of that. Now look at the last facial expressions. Okay, this is the 11th slide for you people. 1, 2, 3, 4, the same girl. you can find in different facets of expressions. Okay, and now let us go for values. Okay, which is very much associated, very much related to our non-verbal communication. Right, actions speak louder than words. So this is what we have discussed in our today's session, that non-verbal communication. That means actions also sometimes speak louder than words. That is your action. This is a very, very famous quote which we have been listening since very long back. It is action that determines, what kind of a man you are or what kind of a woman you are. It is a waste of time, waste of energy, sometimes to speak louder. Okay, so it is a common idiom used to express an ability to do something. This is a common idiom, right? That used to be expressed an ability to do something. So if you want to do something, do it with action, not with words. That is what it means. Often people practice to speak a lot about their plans. So everyone has her or their own plans. They always used to speak their plans in a louder voice. Actions, intentions, and goals. So we keep on talking our goals. We keep on talking about our plans. We keep on talking about our actions. We keep on talking about our intentions and goals also. But very few people do whatever they say. This is very important. I hope you might have seen so many people who must have boasted about their goals, their intentions, their plans, but when certain action is not being taken, no one can achieve his goal. So this is what most of us, we can see a lot of people, they fail in achieving their goals. Very few people, they do whatever they say. Politicians are considered as one such category of people. Politicians are considered as one such category of people who often make great speeches. That everybody knows. Right now you people are witnessing what kind of speeches have been going on throughout the country and throughout the state. However, there are very few who do whatever has been promised before winning an elections. Okay, their promises before elections and after elections, their promises will be changed. Very few people, very few politicians, they will keep their promises, before winning an election and after winning the election. They keep on their promises, very few one. Often at workplaces, actions are considered more important than just speaking. It measures a candidate's ability to do something. Body language is also considered as one of the non-verbal communication techniques to judge a candidate's personality. This is what I have told you, how it is related to our non-verbal communication. Here in the last line, okay, what did you find? Body language is also considered as one of the non-verbal communication techniques to judge a candidate's personality. So, my dear students, you might have come across, you must have understood right now how this non-verbal communication takes a major or pivotal role in our day-to-day life, irrespective of profession and irrespective of age, irrespective of gender. So that is why you have to be very careful unless you start learning from this stage. You start learning from this stage, because now you are no longer studying your intermediate. Right now you have little bit grown up, right? You entered at the degree level, so where you can see a new kind of world, with a new kind of encounters, with a new kind of experiences, sometimes real also. So that is why it is mandatory to every individual to learn these things in their life in order to achieve their respective goals. So today's session ends like this, my dear, and we will discuss another topic next in our next class session. Till then, bye bye, see you, thank you very much. Yang sa kanya sinora ba yun?